Today we're going to learn how to decode mixed signals from your ex. And what we've done is we've polled our private Facebook support group to find out what some of the most common mixed signals, hot and cold, rubber banding type things exes do. And what I'm going to do is give you an explanation for what's actually going on in their heads when they are giving you these mixed signals. Mixed signal number one. Why is my ex hot and cold? All right, so let's define what hot and cold type of behavior looks like. Generally speaking, if your ex is being hot and cold or rubber banding, one thing that they're doing is they're doing things or taking actions or saying things that are making you believe that they want you back. And then that's closely followed by something that they do or say that makes you think the exact opposite, that they want nothing to do with you. So what's going on here? Why are they hot one moment and cold the next? Well, I think the best place to start is by understanding what nostalgic reverie is. So nostalgic reverie is basically a more complicated way of talking about this Disneyesque version of a powerful moment in your relationship with your ex. So what tends to happen during the hot moments with your ex is that they are trapped in a bout of strong nostalgia and are often communicating with you in a positive way because of it. So they're hot because they're thinking very positive things about you. But what's interesting about the Disneyesque nostalgia is that Disneyesque nostalgia isn't really looking at the world or the experience in the whole way. They're often forgetting about all those inconvenient things. So after some time goes by, they start remembering the inconvenient things that accompany those nostalgic reverie moments. And that's where they get the bout of cold. They're thinking to themselves, what am I doing? I don't want to lead this person on. I don't feel feelings for this person, and they go into their shell. And if you really think about it, at its core, someone or an ex who is giving you mixed signals is often sending you those mixed signals because they're experiencing confusion about how to handle the breakup. They aren't sure exactly how they are feeling yet and want to keep their romantic options with you open in case they decide they want to come back. Now, the challenging part about this is they're hot and cold sometimes. They're hot, and even despite the fact that they're cold sometimes, they will literally think to themselves, well, I just want to keep that option open in case. Mixed signal number two. Why are they angry with you when they broke up with you? So a few months ago, Coach Anna and I did this amazing hour-long interview where we dived into the ins and outs of anger and why angry exes tend to have aggressive behaviors. And we talk about this concept of anger being this addictive quality because oftentimes it's a great coping mechanism so that you don't have to deal with whatever responsibility you have in terms of the anger. Now, this is especially relevant during breakups because there's so much anger and aggressive type of behavior that happens during the precipice of the breakup. And this exact mixed signal calls back to that anger being sort of an addictive quality. So here's the paradox. The paradox is your ex broke up with you, yet they're angry at you because of it. It makes no sense, right? Well, consider a moment what we know about anger. So as strange as it sounds, anger has this almost addictive quality to it, the seductive power. Now take a situation where your ex says, "You're stupid." That's hurtful, right? But what they're really implying is that you are stupid while they are smart. Their anger allows them to take control of a situation which is personally validating for them. So ultimately, by being angry, it allows them to feel good about themselves. Essentially, it's a convoluted coping mechanism. Now, this makes sense when you sort of understand the layout of they're angry at you when they broke up with you because of a breakup that they initiated. Rather than feeling the pain of whatever they did wrong in the breakup or the guilt of hurting you, they're going to become angry at you and project what they're feeling inside onto what they believe the source of their anger is. It's kind of paradoxical, but that's what happens. Mixed signal number three. Your ex says they care about you, but doesn't want to commit. A few videos ago, I introduced a new concept called the self-fulfilling circle. And I believe that the self-fulfilling circle perfectly describes exactly what's going on here. So how does it work? Well, simply put, your ex will crave intimacy. Of course, when they crave the intimacy, they'll go to you and unfortunately will get too much intimacy from their partner. When they feel that their independence is being threatened, they push their partner away. Then they feel bad about themselves and wonder why they can't ever find anyone, and then they rinse and repeat the process over and over and over again. Now, what we know is this is highly common behavior for people with avoidant attachments. So oftentimes people with avoidant attachments will crave intimacy from their partners, but one thing that they don't want is they don't want their independence to become threatened. So what does this mean? Well, okay, so your ex is craving intimacy. The breakup occurs. They crave intimacy a few months after the breakup. So they come to you and they get the intimacy, but they get a little too much intimacy, which makes them feel like their independence is being threatened. When their independence becomes threatened, they push you away, and ultimately they create this narrative of, why is this always happening to me? And then they rinse and repeat the process over and over again, because why is this happening to me ultimately leads for them, why can't I be happy? Why can't I have intimacy? Which causes them to go again and again and again. It's this fun little circle that we've noticed avoidants tend to have. So when an ex says that they care about you, it's oftentimes in those craving intimacy moments, which of course they know is going to make you give the intimacy back to them, and guess what happens? They push you away. And around you go. Hey there, real quick before we get you back to your video, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, well, please do that. It really does help. It helps keep our video editors paid. It helps us keep doing these high quality videos. And it's really 5 seconds out of your day to click one little button. So if you could, please just click the subscribe button. No harm, no foul if you're not interested, but we figured we'd try. All right, let's get you back to your video. Mixed signal number 4. Your ex ghosted you, and now they suddenly want to talk to you again. All right, so basically this specific mixed signal in a nutshell is a situation where your ex breaks up with you and then they immediately ghost you. Whether that's from blocking or simply ignoring you, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the fact that they are ignoring you. Then some time goes by and guess what happens? They start talking to you again and flirting with you, and you're left completely confused about what's happening. Well, once again, in order to describe the concept of what's happening here, we need to first look at avoidant attachment styles. So what we know about avoidant attachment styles is, yes, they crave intimacy, but also they don't allow themselves to have that intimacy until they feel like their partner has moved on. So your ex has ghosted you. Your ex most likely is an avoidant. They've ghosted you, right? They don't want anything to do with you. And then they let a month or 2 or 3 go by, and then they contact you. Well, when they contact you, it's often at the point where they feel like, okay, enough time has gone by. She's over it. He's over it. I'm going to get back in touch with them now. So they do get back in touch with you. And guess what happens? That self-fulfilling cycle that we were talking about before, well, that started happening. But the ghosting to flirting with you all of a sudden, that is sort of avoidant behavior in a nutshell. Mixed signal number 5. Things were going so well, and then they suddenly disappeared. Unfortunately, this is one of the most common errors that we see our clients making. Things seem to be going well with their ex, and then suddenly they say something or they do something that makes their ex kind of retreat inwards. Now, what could be happening is that self-fulfilling cycle I talked about, where they're craving intimacy, they get a little too much, and they go inside. Now, what we've done to kind of curb that from happening is this concept we call the value ladder. So the value ladder is basically all about teaching you how to use methods of communication in the right way so that you're not freaking your ex out and causing them to run away from you. We typically have 5 different types of communications that we teach. You have nonverbal communication, which is things like you posting on social media. Then you have text messages. Then you have phone calls, video chats. Then you have meetups, and then you have romantic dates. Now, what we're finding oftentimes when this type of mixed signal occurs, it's because you're skipping the value ladder. The way it's meant to be sort of climbed, if you will, is that you're not supposed to advance to the next rung of the ladder, the next type of communication, until you've built sufficient value in that rung, in that layer, and then you can kind of climb to the next one. Now, what tends to happen is, especially when you're using a no contact rule on your ex, you tend to get really excited about talking to them and want to rush to the end immediately. This, of course, causes them to feel like they're getting too much intimacy, which causes them to push you away, and then you're in that cycle. So that's how the mixed signals work. All right, I know I say this all the time, but if you're new to this program, probably the best place for you to start is on our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and take our Ex Recovery Chances Quiz. A free, simple 2-minute quiz designed to basically tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. All you gotta do is simply look in the description link below this YouTube video and click the link you see there. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, we're trying to do a better job of making sure we're getting more and more subscribers, and it's working. Our videos are producing more subscribers because we're asking you guys. So if it's not too much trouble, take 5 seconds out of your day and just click the subscribe button that you see below and hit that bell notification so that you can get updated anytime we come out with a new video. I'll see you next time.